Okay, hello everyone. I've got a really great surprise for you. I have hooked up with Linda Lieffers, and I reached out to Linda, wasn't even that long ago, like a couple weeks ago, because one of my artists had asked me a technical question in my artist group. And I thought, I don't really have the know-how about that, but I know somebody who does. So I asked Linda if she would do a talk for me in my group, and she prepared an amazing video for me to share it with them. Now, I'm not sharing that with you guys here. This is for my mentorship artists. However, I am sharing my experience with you here with Linda, and we're going to just get some information from her. She's going to share some of her past, how she got into art, however it goes, however it flows, that's how it's going to go. So this is Linda. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Pauline. I appreciate the opportunity. I guess I'm a newbie to the art scene. I didn't start painting until about 2018. I was on a burnout from work. I used to have my own frozen gourmet food to go service. And
Wow.
I did that for years here in Mexico. I would like cook up a storm all week and supply my refrigerators that were, located in different areas here in Cabo. And I just got so tired of it. And I thought, I need a break. I need a break because I was ready to bust. So I decided I'm going to take a year off from work and try painting. I've never really painted much on canvas, but I did in the past paint furniture and walls and that when faux finishing was, the rage in the 90s. So, I just started painting in my garage, and I had one picture on the wall, and then pretty soon I had a couple more, and then pretty soon I had more supplies coming into the garage, and well, the rest is history. I have never gone back to my old job, and I've just continued to paint and evolve and get told no a lot, and now selling more artwork every day. So yeah, it's been the best part of my life so far.
Oh my God, that's so cool. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that I know there's more to share, but that's the best part of your life so far. Cause I found the same thing. Like, I just feel like I've just finally arrived in my skin.
Exactly. I think if you can wake up every day passionate about something and have that same brand new excitement, man, I feel so grateful and so lucky because I don't think a lot of people, have that opportunity. They have to go to work and do something maybe they don't necessarily love or are passionate about. So yeah, we're very lucky.
You mentioned the passion, but you do get frustrated sometime, I'm hoping.
Oh yeah. Like the struggle is real. The struggle is real. And like when I get I guess confused to what I'm doing, or I'm not knowing what my next move is. Sometimes I'll have to put the painting away. I'll put it in the naughty corner and let it rest and give it a break. And when I do that, I can come back to it maybe even 3-4 months later and think, okay, I'm ready to work on you and get you finished. And I think that's really important to take a rest from a painting that's giving you a lot of troubles.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. As a matter of fact, I look at my paintings as a place where it's a playground, and I obviously am going to create a painting in the end, but I look at it as a place where I can explore my ideas. And they might be of a really simple idea, like how about this and that color or that next to that. Or it might be something really complex, like maybe I'm going to try a new supply or a new tool, and I want to see what happens. And that doesn't always go the way I plan. And the thing about that, though, is I would rather be having a place to pluck my ideas and try them out in my life on somewhere than not have an ability to utilize this imagination and bring it into fruition where I get some kind of both challenge and joy out of it. And I think that's the key, and what's making my life feel so fabulous is that it's like full circle. I got a thought, idea, try it out, see what happens, you know, and then if I create a painting, somebody likes it, they buy it, or it goes into a show, or it goes into my house. It's full circle. It's like me meeting me, you know, in the full regard. And I'd love to know, does that resonate for you, or how does that happen for you?
Oh yeah, like I feel any painting I make is always, you know, a step forward. I'm always learning something from it. It will stay in my house, or it will go to a friend, or I'm lucky enough to sell it. So yeah, my artwork is always going somewhere. Maybe sometimes it goes into the bodega down in the basement. But I eventually will paint over it. I don't like to waste big canvases unless I can't, because it's got so much texture on it. But I'm a firm believer in recycling. So I'm always painting over older pieces that, you know, I don't like, or so no, it's always a win-win for me. Like even a failed painting.
Because you learn something from that.
Oh,
Even
exactly.
you know what you don't like, you know what you tried that didn't work.
I think the biggest mistake in your life is not trying. If you're just sitting there and never doing anything because you're too scared to do it, then you're never going to find out, or you're never going to grow, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You know, I'm sure I drive a few people nuts when they ask me, especially in the course that I run and the membership that I run, that they'll say, well, what if I did this and this? And I go, try it and see what happens. Even the video that you made for my artists in I See Me, they still have to try it for themselves, even though you're sharing your knowledge. And that's, not only is that going to help them like incorporate what you're sharing, but they're going to then start feeling, well, what's my take on this, and how can I do this where it still feels like me, which is going to lead me actually into how you really got yourself going with your art. Because you had mentioned you found some artists that you really admired, and you studied, and you figured out how you wanted to move forward. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
There was an artist, his name is Hizam. He's an Iranian artist, and he now currently lives in Los Angeles. And I used to come across his work all the time, and I always loved it. And it was because the colors were so vibrant, and it had the essence of love and romance. And so I started copying his work, like dead seriously copied, right to like sometimes making a grid on a piece of paper and blowing it up onto a piece of canvas. And from there, I learned how to, you know, create colors, and how to make composition. And I must have made about 10 of his paintings. And I thought, okay, you know, it's time that I find my own wings and search for my own voice. And it took me a long time. I thought I would never ever find it. I think I was probably 2.5, 3 years into painting in my garage, and I did one piece of art, and it was an abstracted landscape, and it came together so easily, like it was just like natural. So I thought, so I tried another one, and it came along just as easy. And I thought, hey, you know, I'm onto something here. And I realized that I'm into like colorful, soft, abstracted landscapes, you know, with kind of a fantasy feel. And from there, I started feeling more courageous and adding even more colors. And I went from doing a lot of work in acrylics to oil, just because it's so hot here. And I found, oh my God, I love oil. I love the versatility, the blending, the slow drying time. I love R and H sticks, oil sticks. They're amazing. The pigment that I scrape out of them and apply to my canvas are phenomenal. So anyways, that's
You
how I
know,
started.
God, you just gave me so many ideas of things I want you to talk about. Like one of them was, first of all, I love how you listened to what you needed next to move forward. So you were doing this amazing business where you were obviously creative and cooking up a storm, but now it was like, I don't know. So I'm going to take a break. And you tried painting, and then you followed this artist who you really admired, and then you followed your curiosity about, well, like, what's he doing, and you tried your ideas out, and then you decided, you know what, it's time for me to really grow my own wings. You did that, and then it's like oh, I'm on to something. And then it was, I want to try oils because it's so hot here. I just love how you keep listening to your innards, to what you need to do next. I think that's so key. And I know that we do this anyway in life, but we also fight it and ignore it. And what's really, really cool is where you get your traction is when you're listening.
Yeah, you have to follow your I guess your spidey sense inside, or your wants and your needs. And I know I needed a change in my work. I was just like so sick of it. I wasn't happy anymore. And when I picked up a brush, my whole life changed. Like
Yeah,
I can't be more grateful for a paintbrush and some paint and some canvas.
that's so great. And then you
Uh,
mentioned oil sticks too, because we chatted a little bit and you'd said that you grab an oil stick and, chunk off some of that oil and smash it up. Do you want to share a bit about that, or?
Yeah, like I'm still not brave like you as far as making really strong, bold marks and lines, but I'll take my palette knife and I'll go into the center of the RH stick, oil stick, and put it on my paper, and I'll add a little bit of glaze to it. Like I use 1 part linseed oil, 1 part solvent, and that helps spread it a little bit. And I'll apply that right to my canvas with either a brush or a palette knife, and the color just explodes. It's so amazing. And I also I'm a big fan of a few Gamblin oil colors and whole bean. I love whole bean colors.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still experimenting. I don't my The shops here are like, I can hardly buy anything, so I order a lot of supplies online.
Me
Yeah.
too, actually. I'm getting more and more Amazon driven, just because there are some really great products that I can only get in the United States, and the art stores don't carry them
Mhm.
here. But I love exploring, and I think that I actually bought the R&F turquoise oil stick, and I was going to buy the whole pack for Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. It was just like, oh God. I mean, it's pricey,
Expensive. Yeah.
but I bought just one because I thought, I'm careful with oil because when I put it down, I kind of want to feel like that's where it's going to be and I'm going to like it, because I use acrylic and I don't mind putting oil on acrylic, but then I don't want it to be in the wrong place, because then I'm going to want to remove it, or I don't want there to be a lot. Anyway, the RNF is so creamy. It took days and
Yeah.
days and days and days and more
Love it.
days
Yeah.
to
I love
dry.
it.
And I thought, oh, I'm so glad I didn't buy the big pack yet, because the beauty of buying the oil stick, and I do have at least maybe 20 other oil sticks, is I just need to figure out how I want to use it
Mhm.
so that I feel confident using it. And I don't feel confident with it as much as, say, my water solubles with acrylic, because I know.
Well, it's a bolder medium,
Yeah,
definitely. Once it's on, it's not really going anywhere, so you're gonna have to cover it up. But that's the beauty
yeah,
of paint. If you don't like it, you can just paint over it.
yeah. There, and you can use acrylic paint over lines of oil stick. And it's quite lovely if you excavate and scrape away, and then you can
Mhm.
reveal that. But if I painted oil, I'd probably love scribbling large amounts of that on a painting, but you can't do that with acrylic because then it's when you paint over it with acrylic, it's not going to stick.
Mhm.
So there's that just kind of like safely risk taking on with some of these things. But I love it that you're using that on top because you start your oils now on top of acrylic, right?
Right. I don't know why, but I start all my compositions with acrylic.
And I
And then
know a lot of artists do that when they're
uh
using oil. They will start with an acrylic base, maybe to map it in. And
yeah, probably. And because I know it'll be dry the next day.
yeah,
That's the
that's
one
true.
that's the
Impatient.
one thing I don't like about oil is the waiting time for drying. But I stick it out by the pool in the sun, and it usually dries in about 1, 2 days, so I can get back to work on it.
Oh, you see, you're lucky that you live in somewhere.
Well, the heat is useful for that. It's also great for your skin or your sanity some days.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So if you were going to share with someone a parting tip about their art journey, because you've been painting since 2018, did you say?
That's right. Mhm.
Yeah. What would you share with them as words of wisdom from your experience over the last 5 years, I guess it's been
Mhm.
4 years?
I would say, you know, not to give up and to be patient and not to beat yourself up because you're not getting the result you want right away. Like I'll look back to what I was doing in 2018 and it's like a joke, compared to where I'm at today. But it's been an everyday contribution that I'm in my studio and I'm putting in 4 or 5 hours a day from like 9 till 2 every day, sometimes Saturdays and Sundays. And that's how you grow. And because you get a lot of no's, if you get a lot of no's, like I got a lot of no's, like, no, no, we don't want your work. No, 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 it's not going to work. Don't let that bring you down. Like just keep creating because it comes from your heart and you're passionate about it. And just go with your flow. Do it because you like to do it and make art that makes you happy. Don't make art necessarily that you think people will buy because I know that's never worked for me. I mean, that's how I started in the beginning. Like, what do I think is going to sell? And I was like all over the roadmap. I didn't, I did this, I did that, I did this. And I found that when I just stay true to my heart and paint something that I like, that I personally want to create, it sells. It'll eventually sell.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll sell.
And you are satiated that way. Whereas when you're just chasing a potential product or look, that's not as satiating as if you follow your heart and do what it is that you want or what you're curious about.
Mhm.
And you said something about the nose and people that you I'm guessing you're talking about approaching galleries or shows. And that is hard to hear no. I mean, I remember submitting some paintings to a membership that I belong to. That's the FCA, that's Federation of Canadian Artists. And it was a roll of the dice. But I didn't do my research. They were looking for landscape paintings, and mine were abstract landscape. And it kind of, this is like in the first couple of years of
Mhm.
me painting. And I felt the sting. And the sting is the thing that can really either press you down or you can look at it as there were 3 jurors. They didn't want to have what you are offering in the show they're putting together.
Mhm.
Because we don't know what's in the minds of the jurors that are trying to put a show together. You only know what's written on the call for artists, the call for work, and how you've interpreted it. But someone who's putting a show together has got a vision. And when they're looking at a lot of art, they start seeing things and they might think, oh, okay, that'll look good with that. And that's a nice contrast to that. And it's very complex, got nothing to do with you and your capabilities and your art. And I'm saying that probably because I remember that sting and I was like, well, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like,
Exactly.
yeah. And I eventually, though, I don't like feeling bad. So I usually spin myself out, and I'll find any way to spin myself out. I'll make stuff up just so that I feel better because, you know, because it's the story in my head that made me feel bad in the first place.
Yeah.
So I may as well make up a better one, right?
Yeah, you know, life as an artist, there's so many ups and downs. You're gonna have highs where you're selling a lot of artwork, and then you're gonna have quiet periods when you don't sell anything for a couple of months and you think you're such a loser. But you know, it's that's not the case. You know, lots of times it's global issues or whatever, you know.
That's right.
So just you got to be patient and do it because you like to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Follow your heart, follow your curiosity, your nose, your inklings, your innards,
Hmm.
whatever it is, try to listen to what it is that you are wanting. And that can be complex sometimes, especially if you're trying to make it a living, because then the dollar sign comes before your curiosity and your passion. You have to flip it the other way around. And that can be hard, but pay attention because there is a guide inside that,
Exactly.
yeah, there is, whether it's an intellectual or emotional, spiritual, a longing, something you've always wanted, however you interpret that, you do have something in you that will draw you forward. So that is what you want to be paying attention to for sure. So cool chatting with you. I should
Yeah,
let
you
you go, or
too,
at
Pauline.
least let those guys go. We can chat longer.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
look
I'm
up Linda. Linda, tell what is your handle on Instagram for those who may have stumbled upon this video and not actually
okay.
yeah.
Okay, you can find me at Artista Unleashed, and then my name Linda Lieffers is underneath that. And I also have a Ko-Fi channel, so I offer art tutorials. And I have YouTube, and I have an Amazon store on my link tree where I offer products. So yeah, take a look at my page and see what you think.
That's
And
wonderful. Go ahead.
I really appreciate the opportunity to chat with you, Pauline. I'm such a huge admirer of your artwork.
Oh, thanks. And likewise. Well, I'm so appreciative that you carved some time out of your day to hang out with me and also to support my artists in I See Me. Really, really appreciate it. Now, I
Okay.
will put all your contact information in the blurb that comes under this video so people will be able to find
Hey,
you.
much
Thank you so
appreciated.
much. Yeah, you bet. It was really, really fun. Thanks so much.